The reason why that works specifically for how we operate is because we're analytics first. And that means it's the data. And the data tells us, especially like you came to us for social ads, what ads are performing the best.
What's up, my friend?
What's up? It's been a while.
Man, I know it seems like you don't like to let the grass grow beneath your feet.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah. How you been,
Truer
man?
words have never been
I was
spoken.
I was in four Asian countries last week. I did the Great Wall of China, hiked in the world's largest caves in Vietnam, including swimming a mile through water to inside these caves. Phuket, Thailand, and Tokyo. Did a bunch of stuff. You ever been to Tokyo? They have the best beef.
Really?
Best ever had. Yeah,
Wow. Well, you're talking to the
35.
audience.
Great. Nice to have a fellow traveler, Dennis. I just happened to be in four countries last month, so myself. So it was a good
Where'd you
trip.
go?
I was in Prague, Vienna, London, and Doha, Qatar.
I've never been to Prague, but Prague is my dad's favorite city he's ever been to. So
It was fun. I really enjoyed Vienna. I think we may have lost Dennis.
we may have. He's driving home.
Okay.
He just landed in from well, from his many adventures. He's finally back in Vegas. So he just landed. So
Okay.
let's get started. We'll pick him back up as we go along. Maybe just want to give me Dennis texted me a couple hours ago asking me to hop on this call. He gave me some basic context of, you're always wanting to have more calls, but do you want to give me kind of the idea of what caused you to reach out to us? What's kind of your goals, and let me know what you're.
Yeah, Daniel, I wanted to, before we get into the technical side of things, which I'm sure we'll spend a lot of time. Hey, Dennis, welcome back again. I just wanted to,
Sorry about that.
tell you a little bit about how I came to know about Dennis. And I saw actually, Dennis, I don't know if I don't think we ever spoke in person, but I saw you at, I think, the CEO summit. And
Oh yeah.
I've always, I've never, Ibrahim has said good things about you. And I told him that, just by looking at Dennis and also looking at what all he said and how he communicates, the one thing that stands out to me is that he's not a fake guy.
I appreciate
And
that.
that is, for when we are surrounded by people, especially in this marketing world, and when I saw
Yeah.
you were by yourself sitting there, and it's refreshing to see just people without all this pretense and fake stuff, which everybody knows it is. So
Yep.
I just wanted to
Yep.
tell you that I really appreciated that about you, and I think Ibrahim has a lot of good stuff. He told me that you're one of those most sincere people that he's met, even though he hasn't interacted with you a whole lot. Ibrahim, I'll let you talk about why you wanted to have this conversation.
I mean, basically, it's very, very short and sweet. I want to work with other good people. Basically, that's it. And I think Dennis is a good guy.
Yeah.
And as you said, I think he's authentic and sincere. And at the end of the day, and I mean, I read your Facebook posts and
Yeah.
you strike me as a faithful individual. And so I'm like, that's who I want to hang around with. At the end of the day, life is too
Yeah.
short. All this other fake garbage, I'm not interested in that. I really can't even bring myself to have a conversation with people like that. And I
Yeah.
tried. I really have, and it doesn't work. And so I'm like, if we can get
Yeah.
some good people together and work together, and God willing, it's profitable, hugely successful. But even if it isn't, I would rather spend my time with good people than not. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Relationships are everything. Lots of ways to make money. Why not do it with good people?
That's right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dennis, if, just a quick, on that note about working with good people, I think that's where me and Ibrahim get together. I am I run a technology practice and have a bunch of SaaS products. And I've been friends with Ibrahim for a long time. And we not only work together, but we're also friends and, for a long time. And we like each other's company. And I really appreciate The idea that, given all the things that are happening in the world, I don't know, Daniel, if you've seen about Ibrahim, he doesn't back down from what he believes is true and what is right. And for me, I gain a lot of strength from it, and I want to work with him more. Ibrahim, I imagine there is reciprocal feelings on the other side.
Well, that's what it is, man. I think good people at the end of the day, they work from an abundance mindset and not a scarcity mindset. And then the more you give, the more you live. And it's not something that zero sum goal, right? It's not like, oh my God, the more you win, the more I lose. No, it's we all win. And some people just don't get that. Some people think that if I help you, I lose. Somehow, my proprietary information that I have gathered, I lose. And so it's very evident, Dennis, I'm preaching to the choir, I am sure, because that's how you operate, and I can see that. And you give away practically your stuff because you know nobody's going to really use it. So you're just like, bro, give it. Here you go. Take it.
You got my secret. My secret is I give it all away.
That's
all the
exactly
knowledge.
right.
And then the good
Exactly.
people want to work together with me. The people who are like cheap and whatever, here, I already put it out there, right? Then you won't come to me. I already put it out there.
You know what's funny? I did something similar where I spent a small fortune putting together about 15 videos on how to file a lawsuit yourself in the people's court, right? Teaching the public on how to do it yourself. And I initially put it on Kajabi, and actually it's still on Kajabi. It's the magistratecourtmastermind.com. So if you go to magistratecourtmastermind.com, you can buy this course for $199. And then I'm like, I don't really need to get $199. I'm just going to start putting this on YouTube. So I started putting the course on YouTube, and I'm like on the 7th episode on my Karate Attorney channel. So ultimately, I could have made money, but I'm like, guys, I'd just rather teach the public on how to file a lawsuit on your own in magistrate court without a lawyer. But people are scared to do that, and you can sue up to $15,000, right? In Georgia, in magistrate court, but people don't know kind of the nuts and bolts. So that's why I created the course. But really, honestly, now thinking about it, Dennis, it's really kind of an inspiration from you in terms of how you built your system. And then you're like, guys, text this, whatever, or comment below, and I'll send you how to do it. Just execute, please. So it's not a lack of knowledge. It's just a lack of execution. But God knows we're all busy. You visited 4 countries in the past week, so we know that life is hard. And so at the end of the day, I don't have 10 lifetimes to live. I only have this one lifetime. Can I work with somebody that can accelerate my growth? And if so, let's do it.
Good. Well, let me say a few things that kind of bring it all together. So I appreciate, Trey, what you were saying about, being authentic and being the real deal. And, Ibrahim about the abundance mentality and putting it out there. So it's not a matter of my opinion or what I think you should make more videos on what should you do if you get in an accident, or do it in Spanish, or it's that my opinion means nothing. What matters is let's look at the history of Karate Attorney, Awad Law Firm, all the things that you are known for, and mine for those gold nuggets. And it's almost like cheating, because if you know what has been working, then let's refine it, put more money against it, kill the losers, amplify the winners. And my number one guy is Daniel Goodrich. He's been with me for a long time, and he knows how to play this game. And it's not because we're like experts in Facebook ads, it's because we literally look at the data, find the winners, and that's what we teach. We have this process we call MAA, Metrics Analysis Action. So what I want to do now, between now and the new year, which is 11 days away, is make sure we have all the analytics, make sure Daniel connects all of the plumbing. We want to go through the call tracking. We want to see which things turn into cases, build a little bit of a dashboard, not because we're trying to build dashboards, but because we need this to be able to help us identify what the true winners are. And in social, just because it got a lot of views doesn't mean it's a winner, right? And so when we have that, we can optimize and have an intelligent way of testing, because I'm not an idea guy. I'm about just take the thing that, I don't want to come up with new ideas. I'm not that kind of guy. Amplify winners. And it also helps us measure the incremental improvement that we generate, so that provided in the next month I think I said 6 to 8 weeks or something in the note when we first talked about this, provided we can earn our keep and show that in this pilot phase that we're providing some ROI and this is worthwhile. I want to continue to earn other phases until you guys tell us, you guys are so amazing. How can we work more closely together? You know, that kind of thing. That's what the goal of a pilot phase is. It's like dating, right? So that's exactly what I'm trying to do. And we're not here to try to extract money or anything like that. I want to earn it. Every dollar we get, I want to show that if we made $1, you made $10, right?
Dennis, on that note, I'll tell you, even though there is, money exchanged from one side to the other, I think Ibrahim would agree with me also that we're also looking to, be your best clients, right? Money is just I like to see it as a byproduct that just happens to
Yeah.
come out of a lot of things that we do. And I think that's important to me because honestly, if we were to look at this technical side of things, there's a lot that we could do with there are other people that do this. And I think for me, what I've realized is that the to weather the storm, it's important for the softer side of things, which is very odd for me to say because I come
Yeah.
from Ibrahim knows this. I'm all analytics, very objective. I'm like without data, don't talk to me, kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
but you have great philosophy too, which is rare for an engineer.
Well, thank you. And I think, to go back to your point, I wanted to give you the 30,000-foot view. And I
Yeah.
feel, Dennis, that this is probably the most intelligent you will be working with us because the more details you get, then, it's hard. You're going to be in the weeds, you're going to be part of us. So I want to give you the high level view
Okay.
of what we have. And then maybe rather than get to the entire thing, I think maybe we'll just talk at a high level of what we're looking to get out of in the next 2 months and then see if
Okay.
we can work it out. And, either way, we can sort out what needs to be done. But let me show you
Right.
what I've got. Let me know if you guys
Okay.
can see my
Yep.
screen.
I can see
Yeah.
your screen.
Okay. So the first thing is I want you to know that I want to open the kimono of all the things that we have, right?
Yeah.
Some of the good, some of the bad. And the approach we want to take is, okay, that's all fine, but moving forward, let's know what to do to fix it. Okay.
Right.
So the first thing here is that I've got a high level view of the assets that we've got. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So I've got YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Google, and
Uh-huh.
the website and Twitter. So
Yeah.
from the assets perspective, we have something like this. I'm going to make it
Mm.
bigger. I know you're driving on a mobile. So you can
Mm.
see we have a YouTube link with the Dropbox link, and we have different categories, auto accidents and, immigration, public speaking. These are the different types of things that Ibrahim does,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
Viral, actually, TikTok is not something we forgot to mention. So we
Mm.
have the assets that's collected here. One of our problems is because Ibrahim, does so many things, just like many of us. Maybe that's
Mm.
a good thing and a bad thing. We'll have to consolidate it. We have 3 YouTube things that are mostly popular. We have a karate attorney
Mm.
channel, Awad Law Firm channel, and we have a podcast that he interviews leaders. These are all real subscribers. The reason why I mention it because I want you to know where we have fake subscribers because that's an experiment we've done as well. Then, so with that's what we have on Facebook side. We have the Awad Law Firm, the Karate Attorney, and then the Justice Camera, which is a
Uh-huh.
product that Ibrahim's been building, and there may be
Mm.
some options here to build on. We got
Okay.
plenty of Instagram stuff. The main thing here is that the Awad Law Firm, 26,000 followers. This has not real followers, but this is 100% real. Every single
Yeah.
one of them. I've been involved with, when he had 0 followers to where it is now.
Yeah.
And then this is for the Spanish speaking folks. These are all things
Uh-huh.
we can cover at some other time. There are 3 Google locations. They all have, in the hundreds of reviews, but not like 500 reviews, like 300
Okay.
reviews for each of these 3 locations. This is in Atlanta, Dalton, and Marietta. Those are all 3 cities,
Okay.
in the Atlanta area. We have the website, which we've just been developing. It's in a state of flux, but
Mm.
hopefully stabilizing. And then we have two
Mm.
Twitter channels. In
Mm.
terms of what all we've done in terms of social media, it's been, I would say, haphazard. Sometimes we would spend a lot of time on it, sometimes not. Our
Mm.
most of the spend has been on Facebook. I think I've sent that to you, the PDF.
Yeah.
That's the most analytics that we have. The rest of the stuff, we've done some personalized Google ad, those phone numbers that show up on Google.
LSA, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
the local
LSA.
service ads, which are super
Local service
expensive,
ads.
but
Yeah.
we
So
really like those a
we
lot.
did that. And then there's a lot of headaches with getting refunds and all that stuff. So I stopped it.
Yeah. Well, they've
We would
changed
like
a lot in the last month.
yeah. Did they, for the good or for the bad?
Most people are going to say for the bad, but I think it's for the good because if your GMB is strong, LSA is increasingly an extension of your GMB.
Fantastic. Okay. So maybe that's something we can talk about on how to make this stronger. And I think another another thing to know, Dennis, is that Ibrahim is very well known in the community in the Muslim community. He does a lot of public speaking. He has sponsored a lot of mosques. We have a lot of billboards. I think about Ibrahim, 25 billboards around the city?
In Dalton specifically, we have approximately 40 billboards.
Okay.
Dalton is where I grew up, so it made a lot of sense that I purchased boards in that area. But we're slowly crawling into Marietta and Atlanta, but as you can imagine, billboards are like 5 to 10 times more expensive coming
Oh,
out
yeah.
coming out of a small city from Dalton into Atlanta. But maybe let me go.
What percent of the clients do you think are Muslim?
I would say
80%?
no. I would say the
Wow.
majority, no. The majority of my clients are not Muslim. I would say
Hmm.
maximum 25% is Muslim.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But one thing I should probably interject at this juncture is I'm Palestinian and I've been posting a lot about Palestine. And ever since October 7th, almost my social media has been almost all on Palestine because I felt guilty
Yeah.
not posting about
Yeah.
Palestine. And I felt guilty posting just about work stuff when people are getting
Yeah.
slaughtered, my family
Yeah.
included. That has been a
Yeah.
big difficulty for me to overcome, like thinking about making money when a genocide is taking place. So that's like an internal conflict that is going on. But at this juncture, it's important for us to advertise in a systematic way in order for me personally, to help like my family overseas and just be a better advocate for that cause. So that's also a big deal
Hmm.
of my branding. Karate
Yeah.
Attorney has pretty much I guess it's a blessing in that I have a karate attorney channel, which is me personally, and Awad Law Firm. So Awad Law Firm has
Hmm.
been able to be a little bit separate. Like that's the firm, that's the team. Karate
Hmm.
attorney is Ibrahim Awad as the activist, as the advocate. But as you've already mentioned, that has throttled my reach and growth and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's part of the issue.
Yeah. That cuts both ways, just like your brother,
Exactly.
he's been very vocal too, right?
Yes, we've both been very, and he's lost a tons of followers and gained tons
Yeah.
of followers, but
Both
yeah,
ways. Yeah.
it does cut both ways, and
Yeah.
I want to continue doing it, but I also know that it's very important for me to make sure that we develop a system that can be reliable in terms of getting leads.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't view it as necessarily a conflict because when you're in the business of helping people who have been injured, and that has to happen. I mean, it's like, why would you close down a hospital if people are getting genocided? If anything, you need more hospitals. And so that's kind of the way I see it. So
Yeah.
you can do that, but of course, we're not trying to make everybody happy. That's a big noob mistake on the internet is try to please everybody. Right?
Sure.
So the idea of analytics is amplify the thing that is working the best. So so I like, Shreyam, how you mentioned, like, here's all the different assets and here's our content. I would rather start the other way, which is let's start in the case management system where the case is coming from and trace them back and go that way. You see what I'm saying? So, whether it's Salesforce or Lead Docket or whatever the thing is, I want to track the cases back to the content, and then I want to amplify that content.
Absolutely.
And I want to understand like why certain content's working better. I want to work up the funnel from the bottom instead of top down. The trouble with social media is most people go top down. That's just a bad approach, you know?
So let me go over that for a second. July.
My battery is running low, so because I didn't get the charge on the plane, so I got like 7%. So I'll go until this thing dies on me.
Yeah, so let me
And then
get
Daniel
to
can stay.
that aspect real quick. Okay, so here is the case sources. Okay,
Okay.
I don't know if you can see it,
Yeah,
but
I can see it.
heavy on word of mouth. I would say
Referrals. Oh
50%
wow.
of our stuff, right?
Yeah.
See this, the 72 clients got referred to by contact. This is only
Yeah.
40,
Yeah.
right? 50 of them got referred by client, 50 by previous clients, other medical providers. This is Ibrahim's brother. This
Yeah.
is from other chiropractors. This is
Yeah.
family, Dalton Billboards. So, and then Bash is the other partner. And these are all ambassadors. These are all people that are referring them. Okay.
What does
So,
ALF?
sorry,
What does ALF stand for?
Awad Law Firm.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So you can see here that and there's like five firm websites, and then there's three Instagram, and then there's like six Facebook and one TikTok. So the way
Uh-huh.
I see it is that we've done the opposite. We've done the hardest thing first, which is to get the word of mouth. All right, that's the best way to get clients, and probably it takes a long time. I think we've already gotten there. And what
Yeah.
I'm thinking is now we can maybe maximize these things that they have three Instagrams and
100%. That's the
websites and
analytics way
all
to
of
do
that.
it. So do you have to make it work on social and search and all that? Do you have little videos, not testimonials, not, a few
Yeah.
sentences that of text, not Google reviews, but actual stories where, like where you've interviewed someone for a couple minutes and you feel like their actual story and who they are.
Yeah. So Dennis, I think this is now we're getting to the meat, okay? To
Yeah.
talk about what is it that we have that you can use to accelerate and put fuel on. Okay.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that is a little bit of a gray area because I think we have some and we don't have some. So
Okay.
I think what the biggest thing we need to do is to take a look at what we have because of the content that we've got spread out all over, right? We've got a ton of Instagram
Yeah.
channels. He has gone into some on Instagram, a bunch on Facebook, and some on
Hmm.
YouTube. I think that the
Hmm.
first thing that we need to do is an analysis of where we have and what do we have, right? I think that's
Hmm.
the first step. And once we have
Hmm.
that, then come up with a plan to say, okay, look, we are growing here and we don't have enough data, right? So we need this and this and this,
Hmm.
right? And then come back after 2 weeks and we've
Hmm.
created this. Ibrahim's got content managers, all these people.
Yep.
We could
Smart.
create the content for you, and then
Smart.
let's put some fuel on it. Let's figure out what's happening, and then we can go iterate. What I want to do is
Okay.
there's going to be this gray area that may not be great right now. I want to look past that and say, okay, fine, that's okay. Moving forward, this is how we're going to fix
Yep.
it, and we come up with a
Yeah.
solid
Let's
plan
test it.
that is unambiguous to move forward.
Well, you make the gray area black and white by actually applying rigorous testing. So
That's
I'd
right.
even say, have you done any analysis of the intake to see what are the most common things? Because the referral is the thing we want to amplify. What are the things that people are saying? What if we can literally get those exact words that people are saying when they come in? Our ads are created for us by these people. Why like invent stuff when we can use, like you said, use the actual data?
Mhm.
And if that's not being captured, or then we can kind of guess at it or use different pieces, or like I'll even fly into Atlanta for a day or two just to like try to collect some of this for us, right? That's an
So
easy
Dennis,
easy
absolutely,
test plan.
all
We'll
of
go through
those
several rounds of
are
testing that way.
totally open to that. And let's set up a time when you come in. And something to for you to know, all our calls are actually all recorded.
Okay.
Every intake that we have is recorded and it's all transcribed, summarized, etc. So if the question is like, let's take a look at the last, 30 clients that we've signed up. What
Uh-huh.
have we done? We can actually get there, and then maybe that's a project that we can kick off to say, okay, let's come up with
Yeah.
50 intake, the last 50 clients, and figure out
Yeah.
what we have, and we can do that too. But I think
Yeah.
the issue that we have is we have too many things and too many options, and
Uh,
what we've got to do is we have to have a clear picture to say that I know we've got all these things, but let's pick and choose
mhm,
five of them, or if not, if we do 20, but we will get to five, and then we're going to
mhm.
move forward. The problem that we have, reflecting back with Ibrahim and being completely transparent, we've tried to do too many things at too many options, and that has not gotten us anywhere. And we'll try this, and
Mm,
we'll, oh,
mm,
this is the case, and then let's try something else,
mm.
and then it's all over the place. So
Yeah.
that's the issue we got to overcome.
Well, good. Mr. Daniel's going to help us have a methodical testing plan and make sure we don't try to do 20 things at the same time. Because I'm the kind of guy who wants to do more things, but he'll hold us back
Yeah,
and make sure we
that's the
execute.
that's the problem. So Daniel, we're looking to you, man, because I'm the guy who wants to do everything. So is Ibrahim, and
Yeah.
then we got three people
No.
against one. So
And I know it's better to have 2 or 3 things actually done than 20 things half done.
right.
I think
I completely agree. And I think the approach, Dennis, where I would like to see us go is
Mhm.
clarity. That's the most important
Yeah.
thing I'm looking for is clarity on what do we have to do to get the social media brand new customer up and going, right? And we want to set reasonable timelines. Let's say that, let's spend 2 weeks on figuring out what we've got, what do we have to do, etc. Come
Yeah.
up with a plan, and then just focus on the plan. No new ideas. The
Mhm.
plan set. The plan's
Yep.
has a
Yep.
roadmap of two months, and then
Right.
let's come back and then say this didn't work. Let's go fix it. I think that's got to be the one thing that I want to do differently
Mhm.
through your guys' help. So maybe some
Yeah.
organizational methodology, Daniel, maybe that's something
Yeah.
that you could keep us on track on, right? So we all get excited and then suddenly slip through and we've gone to a road that we
Yeah.
never wanted
Yeah.
to go on. And then we want you to come back and pull us back and say, no, this is the path. We will do that when we chart out a new roadmap, but this is where we're going until we learn something new. We're going to stick here. So,
yeah.
okay.
I think first step
So
is
Mr. Daniel's going to hold us. Sorry, go ahead. Go
no,
ahead.
I think first steps are just let's make sure that we can get some access to some of these assets so we can dive in and look at the stats, so I can look at the data and say, okay, obviously we want to eventually figure out how we can tie these things through to, where we can look and say, okay, this particular client came from this particular keyword, this particular video, but let's dive in and see how the things that you have right now are performing. You guys can take a look through, like Dennis said, and see what some of these people are saying about you, what these clients are saying, and then we can use those two different data sources, what the social stats are saying, and then what the actual client stats are saying, and merge those together to try to generate a plan of where we want to put our effort to start.
So, Daniel, what I'd like to do is I'd like to offer, initially Ibrahim and me to say, okay, because there may be things that he has access to, etc. Maybe set up a day, or maybe like Dennis said, maybe he comes in and then, or you both come in to take a look at what do we need to do to
Mhm.
provide you everything that you need. And I want you to walk away with a clear picture of what we have and don't have. And you may find that we don't have a lot of things, but I want that to be part of the plan to say, okay, we don't have these things and we want to build on it.
Mhm.
So I think, maybe the next step is to have you guys come over to actually take a look at our stuff, or however you want
Mhm.
to do it. I'm open. So
Yeah.
you tell me what you need from us and we'll get that going.
Good. Well, like Daniel said, we want to track the social media data, content, referrals, whatever, all the way through the intake, call tracking, and case management. And that way, every week we can methodically execute according to this plan and say, okay, we've made some smart hypotheses about if we put more money on this kind of ad, or if we do this certain thing, and then we learn. So we can't guarantee a win, but we can guarantee that we will have methodical cycles of testing and learning. And
Perfect.
it's just a matter of like how many shots on goal does it take for us to make a 3-pointer, right? And if you said like the house is messy and you don't have a lot of the stuff that we need, that's okay. At least we're going to learn through the testing. And I imagine you have some kind of simple dashboard that shows this is how many cases, dog bites, motor vehicle accidents, slip and fall, all the different things. Where are they coming from? What's working? What's the cost per case? What percent of them were referred out versus taken to trial versus whatever, right? And that value of the case. We want to start from
Um,
there and then go back up, right? And then we can show
yeah, I
in
think
just a matter of like
that may
in the
be
next 2
something.
months, what can we do to generate the most value? Yeah.
Right.
Good.
And I think that's where I want to let you know that, like the data that we have are what do you see here, right? And that's part of the problem, is that maybe we're not collecting the right data, and we need.
You said clarity like 3 or 4 times, which tells me that there's not some kind of, even though you and I are analytics, SaaS, data kinds of people, maybe the cobbler's son has no shoes. So maybe we can do that first.
Yes.
And that's something we like just to make everything fair, we can all look at this every week and talk about what's working, what isn't working. So we're all on the same page.
Right. So I'll tell you where my mind's going through right now. When you are saying that I want to know which ad is working something, we don't have any ads
Mhm.
running. We have one ad running that just, it's awareness ad. What is that actually tracking to come up to our website? We don't have website tracking turned on, right? All of those things that we want to start from scratch and get that moving to say, okay, we want to have
Mhm.
the ability to track, we to so that we can make those decisions. So we may not have many of the things that you're talking about, which is fine, but that's
Mhm.
something that we want to put to
Okay.
acknowledge and fix.
Can we pick a time next week for maybe Daniel and Schwab to get together and just make sure we have access and can connect all the different pieces, which is what we call digital plumbing, which is just let's connect all this stuff so we have
Sure.
some visibility. And then
Yeah.
us as a group can get together to look at the bigger strategy. But we just need to connect. There's just some IKEA
Absolutely.
furniture assembly that has to happen, right?
You got to get under the hood first.
Yeah.
So, Daniel, if we give you access to everything that we've got, would you be able to see where the gaps are and what's missing and what you have? Okay, great.
Yeah, that's my
Specialty.
main thing that I do with Dennis is I go in and I find the gaps and I fix the tracking and all that stuff. That's been my kind of bread and butter for
Right.
the last 10 years with Dennis. So yes, we have an access checklist too. We have a checklist that'll walk you through the process of sharing all these assets with us. And so I can send that over to you and you can just step by step go through there and then we can hop on a call to clear up any other issues of things that you may not have and we can go from there.
Fantastic. Dennis, do we want to pencil a time down on when you guys want to come down here, visit us? Because you mentioned that a couple of times. When do you want to do it? Oh, I think we lost him.
We may have lost him right at the scheduling point.
The access thing.
So, Daniel, I think send us the access list. Daniel, do you know if the our payment and all that stuff came through?
I can double check. Even if it didn't, we'll get started regardless, and Dennis can figure that out. But
Yeah.
we
We're
trust you.
ready
We're not
to
worried
go.
about
Whatever
that.
you need, Daniel, we can kick that off. So send me that stuff.
Yep.
We can get access ready and
Oh,
going, and we can take the next step. So when is the next meeting for us? You think you want to put something now?
Let's get the access checklist sorted. Let's send that to
Okay.
you. And then as you're going through it, when you if you run into things and you have questions about things, then I can send over a Calendly link and you can choose a time that works best for you and we can just hop on and knock it out. I think let's get going on the access and then we can schedule it after that point. I think that's probably the best route here.
Good. Daniel, I gotta ask you, what did you glean from our conversation? What's your takeaway? The stuff that you formed in your mind that I'll be very candid. I'll do the same.
I think you guys are really great people who have a good idea of where you want to be. And I feel like there's just, like Dennis was talking about, I think there's just connecting elements that we need to give you the day that you want. I think you've got the right approach. I mean, the fact that you have this list on the screen right here of you've got sources, you've got things separated out. We just need to make sure that we can do that same thing with the social side of things, where we can get all the data to the places where you can look at it so you can make the decisions and then use that data to make, to start testing and start planning and do some stuff. I think we're close. I think there's just some, like Dennis said, connecting elements that need to happen.
Sounds good. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate it, then, Daniel.
Yeah, I'm excited to work with you. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So I'll send that access checklist over to you. Let me just make sure I have the right email. Is the one that's attached to this meeting the one
Yes.
you want me to send it to? Okay.
AIH@gmail.com. Yeah.
Okay, I will send that to you there, and then we'll schedule a time to knock out any spots where you get stuck. Next week is Christmas, so I will be out. I'll be a little bit less available, but once Christmas is done, then I'll be back and ready to roll whenever. So
Excellent. Okay. Sounds good, Daniel. Look
Thank
forward to it, man.
you.
Okay. Nice to meet you and looking forward to it.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
one.
See ya.